your boy KD, live from the Smash Bros. Studio. Live from the Smash Bros. Studio. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Man, y'all ready to get this thing here to crack-a-lacking? Are y'all ready to get this thing here to crack-a-lacking? Anybody paying attention to the my show was supposed to air on yesterday, but we had a busy schedule that we had to attend to, which therefore put the makeup show for today. So, with that being said, I'm here. Y'all here? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I'm going to look at all my comments on Facebook. I want y'all to comment. I want y'all to do all that stuff here. If you checking in with me, let me know you're here. Check in on this live. Let me know you're here so I can see all your comments. Holler at me. Come on. This show here is going to be interesting. I'm going to tell y'all where it stemmed from, too. Y'all check in with me. I'm looking at all the comments. Check in with me. Gonna get this thing here loaded up pretty good. I was trying something new, but that didn't work. Nonetheless, we're gonna be good. This show here is talking about Ascribed versus Achieved status, in conjunction with privilege. And I want to take the time to define that. I want to take the time to define Ascribed status versus Achieved status. Now, this is not like it's some big, over the top words. Ascribed status versus Achieved status. Ascribed status is a status that you have that is given to you that cannot be taken away. My ascribed status is that I am an African American male. That's ascribed. That's what's given to me. That's who I am. Now, achieved status is all those things that I have accumulated thus far. Being a business owner, being an elected official, policing, being a police officer, all that stuff there. Those are achieved status. Those are things that I earned, and by way of working to get those things. Now, this whole topic came about by way of talking to an older gentleman yesterday. We were eating breakfast, and we were talking about different statuses, and he was advising me that he is, or used to be a coach. When he was in his younger years, I think he's about 70-some years old. But so he was advising me that his younger years that he was a coach, and the different athletes that he's had over time, and the different dynamics of the conversations that he had with his athletes. He explained to me how his black athletes would communicate, how his immigrant athletes would communicate, and how the backgrounds were so diverse. And we also spoke about how African American males, one of the main things that we like to have upon being successful is to make sure that our mothers are taken care of, because our mothers are an instrumental piece of our lives. Instrumental pieces of fabric, just so necessary. Now, that's not to say that fathers are unnecessary, because fathers are very necessary. I'm actually a dad's boy. So, with that being said, me being a dad's boy, it just kind of lets you know how my mind is, being a dad's boy, and how me and my dad communicated with one another. I spent a lot of time with my dad as a child. Fathers are very instrumental in creating great men, and also creating great ladies and women having their fathers in their life. And we were just talking about this on the previous show with AM with Humes with Uncle P, discussing these same things. But when we get to certain statuses, certain status that we have in life, those status that we acquire come with different sets of privileges, and those privileges are sometimes ascribed, and some of those privileges are sometimes achieved. When I had this conversation with this older white gentleman yesterday, you know, I pretty much made it clear that me, when I walk into a room, and when he walks into a room, and if you put us both at the same age, and you know, pretty much put us in the same professional clothing, he's gonna have more influence than I would. No matter what our statuses are, what the status may be, he's gonna have a certain level of influence that is most likely to be greater than mine. And that's because he's a white male. And for those that may say, "Hey, that's not true," that is true. We all know it's true. White folks know it's true. Even us black folks know it's true. You know, even a lot of our friends will say, "Hey, you know, if you want to get a job, you know, being able to achieve certain jobs or being able to climb a certain point on the ladder, don't be the black voice speaking it. You have to get a white voice to speak it in order for your message to be heard. Our messages get discounted for whatever reason, or not heard at all. So that's when we're talking about that ascribed versus achieved status, and then the privilege that comes along with it is very real. As we move forward, when we look at the overturning of Roe v. Wade and how that is going to affect certain families and how it is affecting families. You know, when you think about the types of measures that were taken before for women to get rid of babies, you know, per se. And I know that term sounds harsh, but you know, tell a woman that's been raped by her father or raped by her uncle or raped by a man that she's never met before, never known before, and her virginity gets taken away from her, and then next thing you know, she's pregnant, and you telling her she has to have the baby. She has to live with that horror and look at it every day. And yes, it's unfortunate that it will be the child that has to suffer in the middle of that. It's very unfortunate. But that's just one of those things, and now you're taking that power of the decision making away from that lady. I wonder, where do we get off telling folks that this is my dilemma. The same people that said you can't tell me what to do with my body, telling folks what to do with their body. The same people that said you can't tell me to wear a mask, this is my mouth, my body, my face, are telling women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And the people that, the majority of people that is actually doing this, again, are white males, is telling people what to do with their body. It's conflicting to me. How can you not tell me what to do with my body and then tell me what to do with my body? See, again, that's when we get to the whole thing of it's not a problem till it becomes their problem. And that's when the dynamics would totally shift. Go back to the 80s with the crack cocaine era, where the crack cocaine was predominantly affecting African Americans and what it did to the African American community. What we saw play out on commercials and what President Reagan and even his wife was spewing to us was a dang on baloney being fried, saying, "This is your brain on drugs." Or it's an egg being fried. "This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?" So it's pretty much like telling you, stop using drugs. You shouldn't use drugs. Yeah, they know they can't use drugs. They shouldn't be using drugs, but they're addicted. The minute in the moment where the opioid epidemic affected people with more influence and affected people with a higher status quo, it affected people that were affluent. That's when things started to change. That's where you saw certain laws that were being introduced. That's when you saw the sentencing guidelines being changed. That's where you saw a lot of things being altered in order for it to meet the demands of what is going on with the people that are in power. The moment where the people in power become affected by these things is the moment where things change. So you literally have to bring the problem that you're facing to their doorstep. That's the way you get it to change. It's amazing to me how all of these things here have having to happen. Now, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, that gives individual states still the power and to actually legislate within their own state of allowing them to move forward with upholding that with Roe v. Wade to where abortion is indeed illegal or legal. They can enforce that accordingly. Now, with Alabama being a Bible Belt in the Bible Belt and being a red state, and of course you know what's going to happen, and you already seen what's going to happen. But states like California and some other liberal states are still going to keep their abortion laws as they are by making it and continuing for it to be legal. Shout out to the Disney Corporation. Shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods and several other major companies that have denounced this, the support of Roe v. Wade with it being overturned. There are reports that we've actually had that have stated that these companies, on top of, in conjunction with some other additional companies, have advised that they're going to support their employees and give them financial support to go to whatever other state they need to go to in order to get those needs met, no questions asked. And this right here goes to their dependents, pretty much everybody that's under their insurance, to get these things here taken care of. And I think that is a huge step forward with us being real with the situation and quit trying to act like a woman getting pregnant is a cookie cutter situation. Guns 1 and women 0. Guns 1, women 0. As far as being able to make independent decisions, guns have more rights than people. We can uphold taking a life, and the same people that say they're pro-life are also pro-death. Those same ones that still support death penalties. Those are the ones that still support lethal injection. Those are the ones that still support all of these means of sentencing someone to death. But then they say pro-life. You say pro-life, but then you complain about the additional benefits that's being required to take care of these dependents, these children. Medicaid being necessary, but then you want to cut the expenses. You want to cut the budget for Medicaid, saying that you're paying too much. See, it's a domino effect. If we created this mental anguish to where now this mother can't even work and she can even wrap her mind around being able to reset her life due to a horrific and a traumatic experience that she's had. And that creating a domino effect with her losing her job, losing her independence, financial independence, losing certain people within a circle because they can't be around him or her due to their consistent levels of mental anguish. And not to mention there's a child involved. So that means that more benefits are going to have to be allotted and set aside to take care of both of those individuals, if not more, due to the situation. You know, you got a lot of people out there, a lot of women out there to say, you know what, I'm not a good mother. I know that I'm not made to be a good mother. I know that I don't need to be a mother. If they're telling you that firsthand, how you gonna tell them have the baby? You're gonna put that baby through pure hell, pure and deliberate hell. For what reason? So it's like my grandma used to say, man, we living in our last days, and I don't know where all this stuff is going to end. I don't know how the end of the story is going to read. I know it's very sad for a lot of people. It's very unfortunate that we're having to go through these things. I think there's going to be more to come, and I don't know what direction that we're ultimately going to be heading in. It's just a sad day for Alabamians. It's a sad day for our country. It's a sad day overall. We have a nation that is so hypocritical that they can tell people what to do. They can tell people that you're going to be sentenced to death or you're going to have that baby. It's like we are a nation that thinks that we are God, that we have the power as a nation to decide a person's life. Only God has the power to make that decision. And each person that commits whatever sin, everything from adultery to abortion to death, or whatever it is, as far as disobeying God's will, whether we're talking about the Ten Commandments or whatever, they have the answer to God. Why do we feel like that we as a nation have to act as a medium or a liaison for God? God don't need you to be his liaison. He said he got this. What do he need you for? But we feel like we have to step in and make things right or to correct situations. Like, who are we? The audacity of us as a nation saying, well, we gotta help God. No, God don't need your help. He doesn't need your help. You need his help. We all need his help. Until we realize that we're all gonna be screwed. But it's like we, as a nation, again, collectively, I say we because I'm a part of this nation. It's like we think that we are judge and jury. We are acting as if we are God. Amazing. And in another sense, that can be defined as blasphemy. So, us acting in these ways and moving forward in these directions are just disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. It takes a real person to really understand certain situations that are applicable to certain people and realizing that every situation is not a cookie cutter situation. Every crime that is being committed is not the same type of crime, even though it may be the same offense. There's certain circumstances that go with each crime as to why it was committed. Period. Whether someone murdered someone, whether somebody was raped, or somebody committed rape. Now, I'm not trying to take it for the person that is the rapist, but what if the rapist was conditioned in an environment to where he or she, and let's get it right, she's raped individual too, okay? Females rape individuals as well. So let's fix that story right now. It's not to where you just saying, hey, only men out here committing rape. No, women out here commit rape as well. So, but what we are even more oblivious to, that what additional components contributed to that person's behavior or of being a rapist, thinking that being a rapist is okay. Were they sexually abused as a child? Were they raped as a child? Did they feel as if the fact that their innocence was taken, that they're going to take somebody else's innocence? It's a domino effect. Again, I'm not trying to take up for any rapist. I'm not trying to take up for any pedophile. But we have to be real with what led to these certain situations to make people think that what they're doing is okay. What led a rapist to thinking that raping people is okay? What led to a pedophile taking children's innocence, thinking that it's okay? What happened with the babysitter inappropriately touching a small child and thinking that it's okay? It's an addiction. It's a mental disease. But again, we twist these words and give people the title of being mentally ill in order to soften the blow. Whereas if we don't like said group of people, we're going to say, throw them in jail, throw them in the pits of hell, give them the death penalty. He or she is a thug. It's amazing. It's totally amazing. I can say with a lot of things, I'm not shocked with the things that I'm seeing, and I know you guys are not shocked with the things that you're seeing. But at some point, we got to be real and genuine with one another to realize that we're all going to have to answer for our actions. I think it's in our best interest to be the best individuals that we possibly can. None of us are perfect. We fall terribly short of perfection each and every day that we wake up. We make mistakes every day, knowingly and unknowingly. At what point are we going to realize that we do not make the final decision as to what happens with an individual's final transition from life to death? We don't make those decisions. We don't need to be acting as God's right hand. God didn't ask you for assistance. I don't recall God putting out an opening for all of those to apply. God needs your help. God don't need your help. God asks a few things of us. Love your brother and sister. Take care of your brother and sister. Treat people as you would like to be treated. And when you see my brother or you see my sister out there, look at them as if you look at me. Treat them as if it were me. That's what God asks of us. Treat these individuals as if it were God himself. As if it were God himself looking at us. If it was God himself listening to us. That's what God asks of you. He didn't ask you to be his errand boy. He didn't ask you to be his judge. He didn't ask you to be his executioner. He didn't ask you for that. But for some reason, we've thrusted ourselves in these positions to make us think that these are vital and necessary. Man, who are we? Who are we? If you want to start by saving your world, you want to start by saving your country, you want to start by saving your nation, you want to start by saving your county, your city, your state. Let's start first by saving your own families. Start with your own house. Protect your own children. Protect your spouse. Give them the information and education that they need so they can make great decisions. That's where it all starts at, right there. So we can really change the course of the future of what we're going to see, and nonetheless giving our children better opportunities, creating better wives, creating better husbands, and overall creating better people. And quit being so damn judgmental. Whether you want to talk about gay folks or whatever. Oh, I know we still in Gay Pride Month. I ain't got no problem with gay people. Do your thing. Who am I to tell you that you're living against God's will? That's not me. It's not my job to tell you about living against God's will. Because I'm quite sure I'm doing some things that's going against God's will too. And it's not, the thing about it is, my issue is just not being magnified as much as your issue is. But I'm quite sure I'm doing something that's not in line with God's will. You without sin, cast the first stone. We're living in a glass house and throwing stones at somebody else. Who are we? Who the are we? Like literally, who are we? The audacity of people. The audacity of human beings. The audacity of our leaders. The audacity. Pockets are being padded in order for certain people to maintain, retain, and obtain certain positions. And until these things are deleted and changed, what we're seeing is going to be the continuous norm. Our quality of life will continuously be eroded. Our quality of education will continuously be diminished. And every ounce of our quality of life will cease to exist as we know it. I'm just being real. But until then, I'm going to do the best I can with what time I have in order to save me and mine. When I say me and mine, I mean me and my household. That's who I'm responsible for. That's who I care for the most. Anybody else? Hey, get it how you live. Just being honest. Got people that depend on me every day. And those are the ones that I'm going to go to bat for. But the stuff that I'm seeing is just, it's so disheartening. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad the things that people do for $1. It's sad to see the level of integrity that exists amongst individuals. It's sad. But again, if you want to change the world, start by changing yourself. Start by changing yourself. Speaking of changing the world, let's twist the topic just a little bit. Shout out to Toy Thornton. Anybody watching this live, y'all can share this to Toy. Toy Thornton of WBRC Fox 6. Thank you guys for moving forward with that tie drive, with my mentoring program, Ties to Success, and with Richard Cage's program, The Man Project. We're getting, more ties coming through. We're so appreciative for people that are donating these ties. See, I'm just trying to do my part as much as I can to help create a positive lifestyle for all of us. Create a positive state of living for all of us. And my way of doing that is definitely trying to create better young men, so these ladies and the society alike could have a larger influx of positive males out there. But shouts out to Toy Thornton for arranging that. That program is still going on. So if you want to donate some ties, inbox me. You can inbox Smash Bros Radio, or you can come in over here under this feed, and I will, give you the PO box address if you want to mail those ties. That's going to be PO Box 322, Pleasant Grove, Alabama 35127. Again, that's PO Box 322, Pleasant Grove, Alabama 35127. If you want to donate ties, and these ties again are being given, not lended. They are being given to young males, as we are not only teaching them how to tie a tie, but we're teaching them the elements that are required to be successful. Hence, ties to success. What is overall tied to success, and what does it take to be successful? So shouts out to Toy. Shouts out to the late Matt McKisson, Lieutenant McKisson of Bessemer Police Department. Shouts out to Tammy McKisson for fulfilling the wishes of Mac. And having met McKisson, anybody knew McKisson, Lieutenant was over there at Bessemer Police Department that died in February. McKisson was a character, and I first met him on a burglary call that he was working for me at my first house was over there in Bessemer, and him, wanting to get promoted to be sergeant and so on and so forth, and he did all that. And say what you want to say about him, but Mac overall for me, he was a good guy, and for his wife Tammy McKisson to be living on and pushing Max the wishes of his will. I know that he is just like, do that, Tammy, do that, with the ties and stuff. And Mac had some brand new ties in his closet, by the way. McKisson had some brand new ties. Tags still on them. He had all of those card ties, all of that, the bow ties, and she got a large majority of them and donated them to the program. Shouts out to Courtney over here, the assistant principal. I forgot Courtney's last name. I'm sorry, Courtney. I've been calling Courtney the whole time, but the assistant principal at Pleasant Grove Elementary. Shouts out to you, man. I picked up some ties from him just about 2 weeks ago. Thank you, brother. Thank you for giving me those ties. I know I gotta go pick up some more ties from you. Next, shout out to Victoria Hill. Victoria Hill is another resident in my community over here in Pleasant Grove that donated some ties by way of her husband as well. And again, guys, these are some nice ties these people are donating. If you have any other ties you want to donate, again, now we're selective now. Please don't give us any ties that's torn up or cut up or stains or anything like that. We will sort those out and we'll send that elsewhere. But when I'm giving these young men these ties, I want to make sure I'm giving them great ties that look good, that they can go interview with. Great ties that when they put them on and they feel a certain sense of pride, because once they feel that certain sense of pride, that's how they reach that achieved status that we talked about. That's how they reach that achieved status. When you put a young man in a real nice suit and you put a young man with a real nice tie on, and he recognizes it, and he know he looks good, and knowing he looks good, and when he walks through that room and he's getting ready to interview, he's gonna feel that same energy when he's talking to all these individuals at this table, because he's like, I know my stuff, I know I'm sharp, I know I got a suit that fits me, all these things. That's the thing that I love doing, making sure that I prepare these young men for what they're gonna need to be successful. That's my way of giving back. That's my little way that I've been doing for the past several years, and I love it. I won't stop doing it. But we need y'all's help with donating more ties. So the more ties y'all can donate, the better. You share this live. Please share. Hit that share button. It'll take just one click for y'all to hit that share button down here. Share this live. And say, hey guys, donate this man, ties. And remember, the P.O. Box I said is P.O. Box 322, Pleasant Grove, Alabama, 35127. And collectively, we can all get together and make positivity happen and make positivity spread. Forget what you're seeing on the news, what you're seeing in the media. Forget what you're seeing on social media. There are some good things going on in our communities. There's some good things going on in our country. There's some good things going on in our state. But drama sells. So if you're seeing a larger influx of negative things being produced, it's because they know that sells. There are some really good people, and there's some really good boys out there, some really good ladies out there. It's some really good people collectively out there that the light won't get shined on them because it's not drama. That's why y'all watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's why y'all watch these reality shows, because y'all like drama. And when y'all see nice, positive stuff, y'all like, oh, yeah, that's nice. Y'all go to the next thing where somebody hollering and screaming and y'all got their attention. But we won't give that same energy to a young boy, or a young lady that is mentoring or that is graduating. We won't even click like on that. But it shouts out to another school administrator that the video went viral on TikTok because this particular video spread like wildfire that talks about introducing more black men into schools. And that is a critical component because that's another way we can help change what we're seeing with the output of our schools. Reason why a lot of these boys are in these schools and they're being led astray because there are women in these schools. And shouts out to the women. I know y'all doing the best you can, but there needs to be more men present at these schools so they can help correct these boys with certain things they're doing or lack thereof. So their presence is so vital. Shouts out to James Poindexter, one of my little knuckleheads that went to school with me. That's up under me by like 2 years. He's a school teacher, and I think he's pretty much working his way on being a school administrator. But he loves that so much, and his mom, Carmelita Poindexter, also spent several years in education. So he's pretty much learning a lot of things that his mom did. But shouts out to him because he's a black male that actually still in these schools. He's coaching as well. That's actually trying to create better, men out here in society. But we definitely need to see more men coming to these schools, more men coming here as educators, and if nothing else, more men mentoring so we can help save our youth. And it's going to start most notably by making sure that our boys know how to become great men. Because right now, it's the blind leading the blind. But when they know better, they can do better. But until they know better, they won't have the opportunity to do better. So let's do our part in help creating more assets in the community, less negativity within our community. But let's all play our parts and play our roles and start by taking care of our own homes. Let's take care of our own community. And if everybody simply did just that alone, our whole world would be filled with better citizens in the community. Because we've all taken care of our household. We've all taken care of our communities. And we've done our part. But if everybody just stuck to that, man, we'll be wonderful. We'll be great. But we got to start somewhere. And that's where we're going to start. So again, please share this live. Please share this feed. I'm going to be coming back on my future shows talking more about this, and we'll be expanding on these topics. And if you want to get on the show, talk to me. Hit me up in my inbox. We know whether we want to highlight your entrepreneurship, your business, your job, your role. Y'all know we stick to positive stuff, and educational things. So if you want to do that, reach out to me. Inbox me. Inbox Smash Bros and say, hey, I want to be on the Dunn It All show. I can be reached at such and such. Maybe want to tell people certain experiences that you've had. Maybe want to tell people your products that you sell and what it took you to get to a certain point. We want to highlight you. We want to highlight the positivity of you. We want to highlight all these different things that these other media outlets are overshadowing because they want to put more drama over there on these different news outlets. So let's share the positivity, okay? Man, it's been a good show. It's been a great show. I go a hard 40 minutes and then I'm done. I don't have to go no further because I'll just be, watering down my show. I don't want to water down the show. I said everything I needed to say. And I've got my point across. I just need y'all to share the message, share the live, share the feed, and remember, if you want to donate ties to Ties to Success or even the Man Project, you can start off by inboxing me, 1 or 2. You can just go ahead and put those in the U.S. mail with P.O. Box 322, Pleasant Grove, Alabama 35127. Hey, you can even drop them off at Pleasant Grove City Hall. I'm still active Pleasant Grove City Council member. So make sure you can go over there and see our clerk, Mr. Ricardo Cobb, and give them to him even. He'll take those and just say, hey, this is for Councilor Dunn or Mr. Dunn. And I will definitely get those. And they will be utilized. I got mentoring program coming up with the Boys and Girls Club and Warrior on the 20th of July. I got to go to UAB graduate program, public administration program, and that's kind of like Tyson says, but really I'm just telling my story about, using my graduate degree and how that master's in public administration aided me in what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to be talking to people that's currently in these graduate programs. It's like going back to where I originally came from when I finished my graduate degree. Gosh, it's been 16 years ago. Yeah. I think about 16 years ago, I finished my graduate program from UAB with my master's in public administration. Now I'm being invited to go back and talk to them, man. So that's what you got to do, guys. Let's reach back and give back and pay it forward. Somebody took the time to help you. You need to take the time to give back when you can, if you can. But just do the best you possibly can while you can. I done it all, but I ain't done enough. Until I do everything I need to do, I'm going to do it again with y'all on next week, Lord willing. And we're going to be exploring new topic material. And we're going to be going over all kind of stuff. On the Done It All show, baby. You going to make it do what it do. Yeah. All right? So, like Uncle P say, I love you like I love my luggage. I don't really have no luggage. But I love y'all anyhow. I want y'all to have the best possible day. I want y'all to love one another. I want y'all to spread joy to one another. I want you to make the best that you can make out of your day. Okay? Love y'all.